Welcome to coronavirus quarantine, day 1. Hey, what's up you guys? This is Helen and welcome to my kitchen. Thought I'd do something a little different today because if you haven't been keeping up with the world, if you've been living under a rock, I think I read somewhere that I think it was Jared Leto? Someone in LA went to some retreat where they weren't allowed to have social media. And they came out of the world and guess what? Coronavirus exists now. And so if you didn't know, the Bay Area is actually under a, what's it called? Bay Area is under a shelter in place. The Bay Area is under a shelter in place policy right now, which means that we're not allowed to have large gatherings. They're really encouraging us to stay indoors and self-isolate as much as possible just to contain the spread, just because coronavirus here in the Bay Area has been one of the harder hits area of the nation. And thankfully none of my friends are sick right now. Nobody I know in my immediate community has gotten sick. All my classes have been moved online. All my random little my dance teams have all gotten canceled. And I'll be honest, I was pretty sad. I'm still pretty sad because a lot of my friends have moved home as a result. Their parents don't want them to be here. They can't afford to pay rent anymore, especially because student housing is actually, here at Berkeley, student housing is actually offering reimbursements. But I decided to stay because first of all, I'm not living in student housing. I have my own apartment in Berkeley. And second of all, I'm from the Bay Area. From an area called the South Bay, also known as Santa Clara. And if you've been hearing on the news, Santa Clara is not doing too hot in terms of coronavirus right now. And I really don't want to risk going back, especially because my parents are not elderly, but they're definitely on the older side. They do hang out with older people, and so if I go home, then I might be a carrier. And also I still have class. I've been taking online classes, and honestly I'm just a better student when I'm in this environment of learning and my own apartment and stuff. But don't worry, I've been messaging my parents every day, and if the quarantine gets really bad, if they're really restricting us from leaving apartments, I'll definitely go home just because I want to be around family during that time, just because it'll make me feel safer. But for now, shelter in place means you can still go to grocery stores, you can still go to the bank and stuff. So yeah, I'm just holding out in Berkeley, making videos, trying out new hobbies like YouTube. So in regards to shelter in place, it started today, or I guess last night. Or it started, so right now it's Tuesday when I'm filming this, and it started at 12:01 a.m. on Tuesday. Yesterday when the shelter in place was announced but not enforced yet, I went to a bunch of grocery stores just to get some things to really stock up in my apartment. I didn't go ham on the toilet paper, so don't at me in the comments, but I just really wanted to limit my exposure outside, especially because all the grocery stores in Berkeley are pretty small and pretty tiny, so I feel I would be exposing myself to other people a lot. I didn't have enough groceries to last me through the end of the week, so I really just needed to book it and get as much stuff as possible. And one thing that I did that I usually don't do, I went to Ranch 99. If you didn't know what Ranch 99 was, it's actually a Chinese market, and if y'all are scared to go to Asian markets or whatever, I'm gonna just tell you now that coronavirus doesn't care what race you are, so just support businesses regardless of what race or nationality they're associated with, because coronavirus is in the US or whatever. I'm just saying this because my boyfriend was walking down the street the other day, and some guy literally was walked away from him and was sorry, no personal offense, but I don't want to stand around you. It's because pretty sure it's because my boyfriend's Asian. But like I was saying, I went to Ranch 99 yesterday. It's a huge treat because there's no Ranch 99 in Berkeley. But I knew there were lines outside Trader Joe's at 2 p.m. And so I was hey, told my boyfriend hey, do you want to Uber to Ranch 99? He's okay. So we went. The lines weren't too bad. We waited in line for probably around 30 minutes. And yes, there were a lot of groceries gone, but I think because it was an Asian market, it was still way better than other supermarkets. And I made the mistake of going while I was super hungry because I went at around 1:30 and I hadn't eaten lunch yet because I was in such a rush to leave right after my online lecture that like I just didn't eat lunch. So I bought a ton of food. In like I guess Asian communities, there are certain snacks in like Ranch 99 that everyone just knows, and like certain foods that everyone just eats and stuff. But maybe like if you're from an area where there aren't a lot of Asian people or like Asian communities, then like maybe some of this stuff might be weird to you. But I don't know, maybe like during this time where we're trying to support local businesses and businesses who are affected, maybe you can like try going to an Asian market and seeing if you can find any of these goodies, because they're really good and they're honestly like the nostalgia is really gonna be getting me through, like it's really been getting me through these like past few days of saying goodbye to friends and like not being able to hug people and like having to stay 6 feet away from people that I probably won't see for another 6 months. So yeah, let's get started with my food haul. So I'm going to start with produce just because I feel like it's not like the boringest, but also it's just like, it's like, I'm starting with produce. Okay, so I got this thing of garlic just because like I cook with garlic. When a recipe says that like requires 2 cloves of garlic, I like double that and I put in 4 cloves because I love garlic. I also got potatoes and onions. I didn't want to like skimp out on vegetables, but I also knew that if I like bought 20 like bok choys, then like they would go bad within a week. So these will stay good for at least a month, I feel like. I also got bean sprouts. I don't know if these are like a common thing. These are actually a Korean brand, but they have like Chinese brands at Ranch 99. I think they were just out because everyone buys bean sprouts. But my mom, like growing up, my mom used to like saute this with like just soy sauce and salt, and it would be so heckin' good. I also like putting this in like soups and stuff, and I actually like have veggie stock like in my fridge. So I thought like, oh, I'll just like, you know, add a little pizzazz to my daily soups with some bean sprouts. I also got this thing of bok choy. Okay, this is my rant on bok choy, okay? So at Trader Joe's, they sell this thing called baby bok choy, but that is not baby bok choy. Like their baby bok choys are like this big. It's like maybe like the size of my cheek, and I got big cheeks. So they're like pretty big, but these are actual baby bok choys. Like if you look, they're like pretty small. They're like this big, like 2/3 of my cheek size.
I don't like getting the bok choy from Trader Joe's because it's always super wilted, it's never fresh, and they also store it, they don't store it well, they store it in these like plastic bags that have been like sealed up, and so as a result, there's a lot of like air stuck inside the packaging, and as a result, like bok choys aren't as like hardy as like broccoli or anything, so they're always like ripped and shredded when I buy them. And also like those packs only come with 3 bok choys. What am I gonna do with 3 things of bok choy when I could get this for like the same price from Ranch 99?
So yes, baby bok choys, a classic favorite. Another thing I got is this. I actually don't know the name of this. It's just like a vegetable. So growing up, my mom always just called vegetables cai, like which means veggies in Chinese. And like she would call like bok choy cai. She would call like this like cai maybe just because it was veggies. And so like I think this was listed at Ranch 99 as like Taiwanese spinach or something, but my mom would have just called this cai. Pro tip, if you just like chop these up, saute them with garlic and salt, it's like bomb diggity. So Taiwanese spinach, I think, but in my home language, I guess just Thai. So that's all the produce I bought. But next we're going to move into like, I guess like frozen / carby foods. I don't know. So the one thing I got, and this was actually a really hard find because the dumpling section, the frozen dumpling section in Ranch 99 was pretty much ransacked, but I did manage to find these. These are pork and leek dumplings. They're pre-steamed and stuff, so they're already like pretty much cooked. And it says here the serving size is 3 pieces. Who eats 3 dumplings per serving? What the heck? It's called pork and leek dumplings, but this picture is actually pot stickers, which in Chinese is guotie, so it's like a completely different, or not a completely different thing, but it's like a different style than like what we call dumplings, which is jiaozi. Most people I know prefer eating pot stickers because they like the friedness, but I actually prefer dumplings. I prefer just like sticking these in boiling water for like 3 minutes, taking them out and eating it with black vinegar and balkanma, which is like a chili oil, and that's like my jam. So I'm not going to be stir frying these unless I like get bored of them. So the next frozen items I got are these things. I don't know what they are. I mean, this one says Asian taste. Well, I guess India is part of Asia, so they're all Asian. It's still Asian, but these aren't from like a Chinese brand, I think. This has Chinese on it, but this has like only some Chinese on it. It also has, I think that's Arabic. I don't know what that is, but this is also like hella nostalgic for me. These are like basically puff pastry pancakes. They're puff pastries, but you fry them instead of like putting them in the oven. They're green onion pancakes without the onion, this one basically. And what I like to do is I like to like just crack an egg into my pan and then put these on top of that, like straight on top of the egg, and then just like flip it over after the egg's done cooking. So I basically have like a pancake with egg, and then maybe on the inside I'll put chili oil, and if I'm feeling fancy, like maybe some meat or like veggies. And it's basically like a Chinese like green onion wrap. Last item in that, I guess, in the circle of carby foods is a Korean thing actually, but they had a bunch of these, and it's tteokbokki. They're like the classic thing that you see in all the Korean dramas. I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon. I've been eating these since I was a kid. I didn't actually know they were Korean when I first had them, because my mom just like cooked them for me. But my mom likes putting these in like beef stews and stuff, so I'll be doing that, but I'll also be like making like some like budae-jjigae, just like, which is Korean army stew, because I have like kimchi in my fridge right now. But you just like boil them, and it's basically like little rice cakes, and it's just carbs. It's just feel-good carbs, but it's so good. So I'm excited for these too. That's all the carbs that I have, and now we're getting into my favorite part. Now it's time for the snacks, like the goodies, and I'll admit I went a little ham in this area. Not too ham, but definitely some ham. Delicious. So the first thing that I think will make everybody super nostalgic is this. This is grass jelly. I have had some friends who've never had grass jelly before try this and hate it. So like, if you want to be like adventurous, just buy a can. They do sell the individual cans. If you've had boba before, or pearl milk tea as some people call it, it's like, so there's the tapioca balls, right? But another type of topping that they put into milk tea is actually grass jelly. And it's basically just like, it's jelly that tastes very herbal. That's like the only way I can describe it, but it also tastes a little sweet because it's jelly. So it tastes very like refreshing. It feels good. This like hits home. Like every time I walked around 99 as a kid with my grandma, she would buy me a can of this, and then she would get herself like a thing of like, I don't know, congee, and then we would just sit in front of Ranch 99 drinking this and then walk back home. Like, this is hella nostalgia for me. But I'm very excited to drink this at night while I am feeling sad because all my friends are gone. Yeah. Another drink item I got was this, and then this was like, I have never tried this before. It's lychee flavored beer. I've actually had the mango version of this, and it tasted really good. It didn't taste like beer at all. It just tasted like mango jelly, like the stuff you get at like boba stores. So yeah, I was really excited to try this because there was no more of the mango flavor, but I saw this, like, this was the only one left, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get it. So I just grabbed it. Oh, yes, I am 22, and I'm buying lychee beer with an IPA of like -2. So like, yes, that's fine. About to get litty with the equivalent of Capri Sun in like the alcohol family. But I'm still very excited. I got a lot of drinks, like, or not dranks, but like juice-ish items, because I really like drinking liquids. But I got these Ceylon lemon tea drink. Wow, I just called them like lemon tea when I was a kid. But these are juice boxes. They're like individual little juice boxes, and these are so good. Basically, I would say I've never had like legit sweet tea, I guess, because I'm not from the South, and I have only been to the South like twice in my life. I would say this is the Asian equivalent of sweet tea. This is what the kids drink in order to feel adult, because it has the word tea in it, but it's also super sweet because it's like lemon flavored tea, and it's so good and it's so refreshing, and this is also very nostalgic. It's either this or like the Vita Soys, but I actually don't really like soy milk anymore. So this is it, baby. This is it. And finally, I guess this isn't like super interesting, but I got roasted green peas. Like, you know how on car rides or like long road trips, everyone has a go-to snack? This was my family's go-to snack. Like, we would just buy 3 packs of these, one for each row of the car, and then I would always sit in the back because I was the smallest, so I would have like a pack of these in between me and my sister, and then we would just like pop these in our mouth. I feel like they'd be better than like chips, but I'm not actually sure. But they do have like that like slightly veggie taste, like pea taste, but it's really good because they're like also hella fried and hella roasted, so like me. So that's the end of my food haul. I hope that at least sparked some joy in your lives. It definitely did for me, because looking at all this, it makes me feel very nostalgic and stuff. And I hope no one takes this the wrong way and thinks of this as like, oh, she's just bragging about how like she has like the privilege of being able to afford so much food and being able to afford like staying in self-isolation while like the grocery store workers have to work. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel very blessed and lucky to have all this, but I'm the type of person who likes looking at haul videos, and right now I feel like, you know, we need some normalcy in our lives. YouTube's pretty normal. If you're anywhere in the world where like self-quarantine is necessary, especially in the Bay Area, please stay self-quarantined. You know, take advantage of apps like Discord and like FaceTime and stuff to stay in contact with your friends. I watched a movie last night with my friends on Discord, so definitely do that. I will be back with more, I guess, planner content later in the coming weeks, because evidently I have nothing to do. Let me know also if you have tried any of these and which ones are your favorite finds. And yeah, have a good hashtag self-isolation period, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!